This is just a static display of the world's first full single sideband transceiver, the Collins KWM1. This is not functional. It has a terminal illness of a bad function switch. In fact, there's no switch in here. The only thing on is the pilot light. This is a demonstrator of a Raytheon RCA training device. It's a full super hat. You turn it on with this volume control, and it has to warm up just like any tube-type device. No, you can actually see all the workings of a super het receiver, including a tuning eye. And it has interesting things. You can unplug parts. Like what happens if you don't have a screen bypass capacitor? All the stage gain goes away. Oh, you can unplug the parts and see what happens. Be careful. It does have B+ on it. There's a couple hundred volts of B+ on here. Okay, we're in the small room that holds some hand equipment and what have you. And here we can most people just look at this, and if they're hams, they'll just say, "Oh wow, look at this! Oh, Collins! Oh boy, look at a 500." So you can kind of let people, ooh and ah on their own here. About the only thing really significant is the HRO 600. So that's the very last receiver made by the national company, and the very first one is the national SW4 up of the upper left, and then that first HRO was on the top shelf. So there's a very first HRO, 1935 HRO, built in 1935. That's 1935 HRO, and here's the very last HRO. So it was a long run. It went all the way from 1935 to 1981. Pretty amazing run for a series of receivers. So very famous national equipment. On top we have a couple things that the kids especially like to have demonstrated, and one is a Tesla coil. You have to turn on the filaments. It has two tubes here and an oscillator, and then turn on the high voltage, and we do indeed make lots of those spark. You can, if you want, just reach over and turn off the circuit breaker for the light here. It's labeled very clearly, and that might show that up a little bit better. And one of the things that we like to demonstrate is the fact that you can indeed transmit electricity through the air. And of course that was Tesla's claim. So we can try to show that we can light fluorescent bulbs from some distance away. And of course Tesla was never successful at doing that, but he made wonderful scientific oddities and apparatus. This is another Tesla coil. This one, instead of being excited by an oscillator, is excited by a spark. Some people don't like to reach inside here, but if you reach inside and push this button, you're quite safe. You don't stick your hands inside. And again, with the light off, you'll see a very nice array of sparks up there. And this finally, this is just a Jacob's ladder, which of course you saw in all Frankenstein's movies. So that's just a essentially a neon sign transformer with a couple rods that spark goes up. So they're kind of fun. This cabinet has a wide variety of items. An early portable phonograph that folds up into a little box here on the left. This thing here is Dancing Sam. Dancing Sam was the first product of the National Radio Company when they were the national company making household goods, cookware. That's how National started. And then they went into the toy business, built some toys, and then finally got into the radio component and then radio business. So that's the first national product. Early batteries on display, just a lot of variety of items here. This cabinet is, quite frankly, aching to be cleaned out and revamped a little bit. This is interesting. This is a World War II Dutch spy receiver hidden inside a camera case. And of course you often wonder, I mean, if you were a spy running around in World War II and you had a camera with you, that's bad enough. But now they look and find out your camera has a radio hidden inside, I think nobody's going to see you for a while. So anyways, it's an interesting piece. And then as docents and what have you, in here we have cleaning supplies and all those things that you want to know about. And of course, your name badges, which I forgot to put mine on. We talked earlier about the Heathkit Company. One of the things that made the company was early oscilloscopes. They made a large line of them. We have this one in here for some reason with a very simple high gain microphone. So as you talk, you can, hello radio, test. You can demonstrate, what voice looks like. We also have one of these eye of the storm things here, which is kind of an interesting, item. And of course, the telephone. At the start of your tour, you should just come in here, make sure that we have a sign-in log for the visitors. Every visitor should get a free copy of the AWA journal, and we're a little low on journals here, but I'll get a fresh supply this week. And then we also have some items that people can purchase if they want. Copies of the AWA Review. Our coffee mugs are very popular, so people can purchase those items. And we have free catalogs from radio days, and they're very happy to have us give these out. So don't be stingy. Offer those to anybody who shows any interest at all. Over here, of course, we have something very important. You might just mention to people that, of course, there is no admission charge, but we are happy to accept any kind of gratuity. A couple things that we can demonstrate over in this corner by the tube area. One is the wire recorder, and the on-off switch is a combination tone control and on-off. So you turn that on, you'll see a little pilot light will turn on here, and you'll see the motor running. And if you slide this over to run, you have to push this button down first. Push that down and put that over on run. And there's a whole bunch of pre-recorded stuff on here.